Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Confident Leader Show, Thinking Differently. My esteemed guest is here, Dr. Anthony Adamgbo.
Correct. That
Adam,
was good. That is good.
yes, I apologize to you because you need the utmost respect. You're an organizational development scholar, a PhD that's worked with companies through transformational change. He received his PhD from Benedictine University in 2018, Leadership Development Consortium in 2014. He's an adjunct professor at Webster University in Maryville. So, welcome. I'm excited to have you back for our exciting part three.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we're going to talk about servant leadership. It's a hot topic.
Mm.
There's a lot of beliefs about what is servant leadership. So we'd love to, spend some time with you, get your thoughts on what is servant leadership.
Um, if we go by Robert Greenleaf approach when he created the concept years ago in the 70s, actually,
Mhm.
um, it is a model of leadership that is specific and is characterized by commitment to serving others. We say it is a pretty um, value driven approach to leadership because everything is about serving others. Whether and when we say others here, we're talking about the customers, employees, or community. It is mostly used in religious organization. That is why I say it is value driven, where Christ was talking about the best among you should be a servant, should serve the people. So that is really where it came from.
Got it. So tell me a little bit more about your opinion when other people say it's soft. There is no
Well,
leadership to servant leadership.
there is there is nothing soft about servant leadership. Now we can talk about soft skills and hard skills. I teach some of that in my organization leadership class. Soft skills are actually, as a study a few years ago suggested, about 50% of CEOs say they prefer soft skills to hard skills. Soft skills, the what we know as listening, behavioral concept and approaches that really keep people at
Hmm.
work, as opposed to the technical stuff. So there's nothing soft about servant leadership. It is actually one of the best approach to leadership because everybody wants to be served, and everybody and who best can model that than a leader. So it's not a soft kind of skill per se, and I will argue that anyway it is one of the most appropriate decorated style of leadership, and that's what some organizations choose it and others don't.
I love that. So here's another hard question for you, I think, and maybe not for you. There's a lot of people that are servant leaders. And there is some belief that if I hire a servant leader, they're not going to be able to take care of bad behavior. So I'd love for you to just tap into that one.
That's a myth. Um,
Yeah.
Being a servant leader doesn't mean that you are not able to discipline, so to speak, or
Mm-hmm.
but we don't hire employees to discipline per se or punish. That is a theory that is not appropriate. There is a notion of theory X and Y. Theory X, suggesting some people are, lazy and needs to be corrected, punished, or disciplined. Otherwise, they won't behave well. That is a mindset that does not really yield the kind of result we expect. Now, when you come to work with a mindset of respect for others,
Mm.
A mindset of inspiring, creating opportunities and creating environment where people can, display the best in them. That's what leadership is. And then serving them. When we say service here, we are actually talking about, purposeful attentivity, you know, being attentive to people, listening, uh, being supportive, those characteristics that we all need as employees and leaders. It pays well to serve than to punish.
Yes. So, how do you serve versus punish? What does that look like?
Serving is showing, modeling good behavior. um, it's like the old thing we say in my culture, when if you were first at an occasion and
Hmm.
an elderly person is coming in, you get to stand up. It's not only the ladies, but a guy too. The younger person is supposed to stand up and, let the lady or the elderly person have the chair, right?
Hmm.
Now, if you are a leader, giving your chair to someone else to sit down while you stand up is a pretty good example of service,
Mm.
right? That's why in some company we have, senior executives coming to tidy up maybe the place after an event or something like that, as opposed to leaving and letting junior staff do the cleaning. Most places senior executives are the ones serving the people and showing this good example.
I love that. I want to kind of tap into a story briefly. I was doing a merger and a transformation with a company that's a very large oil based company in Missouri. It's a woman based oil company.
Mm.
And I was serving that CEO during that transitional change. So I have this team, I've got a transformational team together, and we've got a strategy, and we're working through what do people need to feel inspired to change. We have a very specific 90-day approach. And I asked them when I interviewed everybody first. And I wanted to find out a couple things. What does a great leader look like to you? What is servant leadership to you? And then I said, tell me about your CEO. Why do you believe that she, and it was a woman, why do you believe that she is a good leader? And somebody piped up and said, when she comes into our stores, she said she picks up the broom. If the bathroom needs to be cleaned, she's cleaning the bathroom. Somebody said, where is she? Well, she's in there cleaning the bathroom. And people were so inspired by her. And, Rachel, I know if you're listening to this, you know who you are. But you picked up the broom, you got things done. If somebody said I needed the canister over there at the soda machine filled up, no job was too small for her. She served others. If she needed to get behind the cash register and there's a whole bunch of people in line, she got behind the cash register. So I just love that because she gave me such a great platform to come into the company because she already had servant leadership as a model to inspire others. So I wanted to go back to a couple words you said, which I think was really important. Modeling is one. Number two, gaining the respect of people based on servant leadership. Talk a little bit more about that.
Respect is something that we all cherish at work, and being able to model that as a leader goes a long way. That translates into a behavior that could have uh, um, could have a very healthy consequences or reward, and so continuously reinforcing positive behavior through modeling respect, good listening, um, good way of behaving, coming to work early. Um, I remember one of the places I worked those days when the CEO was coming in and there was something trashy on the road, and he picked it, and as he was coming in, one of the managers wanted to get that from him, and he said no, and he went ahead and put it in the trash. Well, the manager who wanted to pick it from him saw that too, but he didn't care about, getting it from the floor, right? So these that suggests that the job of doing things that are right is for everybody. But unfortunately, leadership is not for everyone. There are
Yes.
folks who thinks that certain people are gifted for that, and as the leaders, certain jobs are specific to them, and they don't do this or that. Some there is this thing I read some time ago about a CEO who, when he was in the MBA, one of the classes he failed was one that suggested that in the last day of the exam, this professor wanted them to name to give the name of the lady who cleans the room every day. And surprisingly, none of the students knew about or cared to know about the name of this cleaner. And that was the only class he failed. I'm trying to remember what his name was. So, Karen being humble enough to appreciate, somebody who cleans the room,
Yeah.
and meeting, knowing their name, finding out about how their day is going. These are things that we expect a servant leader to do, and only a servant leader cares enough about things like that.
Yes.
Others don't even take the part of that normal employees take to go home. They sneak out of the door and zoom into their car, and they are not supposed to be seen.
Yes, yes. And I've seen that throughout my career. And this is a great tip. So if you're a leader and you're not doing this, you should think about doing this. And that is, I had a one pager where I sent everybody on my team the things, and it's not my idea. I stole it from somebody else because I thought it was a great idea. So it wasn't mine. So I don't want to take credit there. But it was a list of questions that were, what do you like to do in your spare time? How many children do you have? Even though there's a lot of people think you can't ask that question, but once they're working for you, you want to know about their family. You want to know what's their favorite candy, what's their favorite food, what's their favorite flower. What do you like to do with your spouse in free times? Because there was times when people were really giving of themselves, and you could see they were serving our team within the team. They were serving our clients, right? And it was a way of recognizing, you know what? Maybe it was, $1,000 grand candy bar. And I just wanted to send it to them and say, I know this is your favorite candy bar, but you know what? To me, you're worth $1,000 million, right? I mean, it's a way of saying to them, I care about who you are. It's kind of the small things that people do. Even something else, we used to write letters to the spouse to say thank you for supporting and being the backside of what your husband does, what your wife does. We appreciate you. We can't see you, but we know you're there. So
Hmm.
thank you. We want to appreciate that. Some of these small things go a really long way for inspiring other people. And I'd love for you to spend a little time around how do you see companies inspiring one change, but accountable for the things that they want and they need inside of an organization.
I'm glad you brought that up because when you talk about supporting teams in organization, oftentimes we don't seem to appreciate the role of the wife or the husband.
Mhm.
Um, if the CEO is a guy, now there are a lot of things going on behind the door that the wife needs to take credit for, but oftentimes we don't know that the reason why he is this good or looking that great is because of the support system. Now, contrary to that, if he is coming to work stress, it could be also attributed to the home environment. So we
Mhm.
need to give a lot of credit to the spouse of leaders and great workers. Now, that is important because in a job we have two types of customers. The employees are the first customers,
Mm,
and then
yes.
we have the customers, the external customers being the second one.
Yes.
Now, if we serve the first customers well,
Mm-hmm.
they will in turn serve the external customers also. But
Yes.
if we don't do a good job of listening, of being supportive, of showing appreciation, trying to know what they care about and letting them know how we care about what they care about and things like that, then they might not, we will be surprised to see that the external customers will also suffer. So that constantly showing or replicating what is good
Yes.
is something that you are demonstrating when you serve the first customers, the employees, the way they needs to be served. And that is true leadership. True leadership is about this service, this authentic service, not just eye lips or things like that, but authentically serving somebody in a
Yeah.
way that is appropriate, that shows respect, that
Yes.
shows that you understand,
Mm-hmm.
and that shows that you are aware and you have emotions.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about leadership, some people think emotion doesn't have a role to play. Being human is really about service to other people,
Mm,
and we need to show that every day, um, every moment we have.
yeah. A couple of things that jump out at me is that being a leader, a servant leader, is never hard. So one of the things that, I have found throughout my own career in helping other leaders is you've got to be willing to hear the hard stuff and do not interrupt what they're trying to say and try to understand clearly what they're trying to say to you,
Mhm.
because there's so much emotion sometimes going on. A lot of people don't feel safe enough to actually speak up and share for the repercussion of what the leader may think, or the and but, or whatever that is. It's really acknowledging, how do they feel, what do they need, how can we find some solution to that, and ultimately helping employees within organizations to help find the solution for that problem. Because a lot of people think servant leadership is about fixing everybody's problem. Well, it's really not. It's not fixing everybody's problem, but it's inspiring people to help find solutions that they're comfortable with and that they can feel safe enough to explore and to try on. That goes back to what I think you're saying is what I saw in my own career, is that on the other side of that, you know, we serving customers become better listeners.
Mm.
We give them the opportunity to share some of those deep things, those deep needs. And it's very much of a transformational change. So I want to go back to the leader who is like, this is not for me. What would you say to a leader who says, I don't get it? I don't really like servant leadership.
Well, servant leadership is not for everybody.
No.
There are other styles that people can, go with. But when we talk about servant leadership, it is really a value-driven approach to leadership. uh, One that says that we respect this culture. Creating a culture of respect, of listening, of comfort, where people are not afraid to make mistake. The whole notion that people should be perfect at work. No, that is not correct. It's not
Right.
possible. So a servant leader allows and creates this environment where people can freely make mistakes and correct themselves. You know, be confident to create and to innovate without a feeling that there is punishment if something happened. There is this talk we say about an employee who received this is 3 p.m. He received a call that yeah, he needs to come home, and then he went to the manager and say something urgent. I need to leave, and the manager was like, no. You gotta wait. You gotta finish your tax, and you gotta wait. So this guy went back to his office, and do you think he did anything? No, he did not. He basically stayed till he fall
Yeah.
about area and left. Right?
Yeah.
Compare that to when you were, oh, please go home and take care of what you need to take care of.
Mhm.
That this it turned out that when you create a sort of environment, that person will not only go home to take care of what was essential, but he or she is gonna return to work tomorrow even earlier and ensures that he does whatever was he was supposed to
Yes.
finish yesterday. So you see the situation, giving people the opportunity to be who they are and to be human is what servant leadership are about. Now, if you want to detect how things should be done, and it's your way or the highway, you are not gonna get the type of employee that really deliver results.
Yep.
You will get folks that are afraid to, say what they need to say. You only get yes kind of guy and not somebody that can, think differently and challenge the status quo. Because when we talk about challenging the status quo, we are talking about helping to create ways that could even be more impactful to the job than
Yes.
what we previously got. So it's not for everyone. It's for
Mm.
special people.
I agree. I agree. So I want to close with I'd like for you to share one tip for leaders out there who want to create more of a culture, more of a servant based culture. And then I'll share one as well if it's not the same thing. So go ahead.
One tip I would share is the idea of having a listening attitude.
Mm,
Be more willing to
yes.
listen, listen, and listen. Um, Leaders who listen are able to impact even more so than those who choose to talk and
Yes.
instruct rather than listening.
And fill the space with words. Yes. So one of the tips that I give to everybody, ask deeper questions. Tell me more. Why do you feel that way? But also asking them, what do they need? Very rarely do I hear sometimes managers really asking them, what do you need to be successful? What do you need from me as a leader to inspire you for what you need
Mm.
to stay? And I think that's one of the biggest issues we have today is employers are having to make some tough decisions for themselves. And you know what? They're deciding whether I'm going to go or I'm going to stay. So I think this is a great base to go from. So I want to thank you for today, um, Dr. Adamgbo, and I really appreciate you and your time and your thoughts. And I wish you all out there a great day. And thanks for joining the Confident Leader Show. Thinking
Thank you.
differently.
Thank you for having me.